This we had a similar show, Cannabis Expo, the first one, in February of 2020, the month before the world stopped, and we had 3,100 people show up. We had over 100 vendor booths, and we have, as we're doing today, 2 stages, 3 panel discussions on each stage.
What are your expectations for today?
I don't expect 3,100. But I certainly expect a decent turnout, and people are still interested. People are learning more, and I think the scientists are finding out more about the benefits of cannabis, and also what it can't do. It can't cure cancer and do all this other stuff. I'm a former state legislator, so I have a little bit of an understanding. But I was in the legislature 3 decades ago, and it was a different legislature. We actually worked across the aisle and we made stuff happen. So now I think the situation is, with the current group of people running the legislature, it's going to be tough. But I think a couple of things. I think we need to have the next 2 elections. We need to re-elect the governor, and we need to elect an honest person to the Supreme Court next spring. And if you have those 2 things, you can begin to see some changes in Wisconsin. But right now, the legislature is, we don't want to do anything. 80% of Wisconsin wants at least medical marijuana. And we had, not only do the polls say this, but 2 years ago, or 3 years ago, in 18, we had advisory referenda in 16 counties in Wisconsin. Red counties, blue counties, rural counties, urban counties, and consistently across the board, they're all coming out, 79, 80, 82% in favor of medical marijuana. Back when I was in the legislature, if the public was polling anywhere near 80%, we were listening. Now, because of the gerrymandered districts, they're not. But I say, if we can win the next couple of elections, we can begin to see some changes, and we can begin to see government working again in Wisconsin.
Do you have a personal relationship to cannabis?
No, other than I just know people who have benefited from it. I know a cancer survivor who was having a lot of trouble with the chemicals and the chemotherapy and all, and it was cannabis that basically made it a whole lot easier. So things like that. I know a lot of people, a lot of friends who are taking it for anxiety and for stress and they're very happy, and it's working.
I saw that you have Senator Agard here today. Are you encouraged by some of the things that she's been doing in terms of pushing legalization in Wisconsin?
She is the hardest working, and again, this is speaking as a former legislator. She is probably the hardest working legislator up there now, and she is definitely leading the charge. And again, she's doing as much as she can under the current constraints. And right now, some people say, well, it's hopeless till we get... No, you can do a lot of organizing at the local level. People, the voters do change legislators' minds. Right now, it's a little difficult, but they still do, okay? And this is, again, not a political issue. You have the far left and the far right both agreeing on this.
Right, to your point, it's very rare to see that much support for anything, so get it done. So, is there anything else that you'd like the Cannabis Equipment News audience to know about the trade show, the Shepherd Express, or just cannabis in Wisconsin?
We do in the publication, when we had the weekly paper, every week we had 2 articles on cannabis. Now we have a monthly publication, so we have 2 articles in the monthly. But we also during the week, during the intervening weeks, we have stuff on our website, our new articles, new content, and so no, we believe that this is ridiculous that 38 states have some form of legalization, and Wisconsin, which used to be a leader among states, we really were. We were the gold standard in a lot of things when I was back in the legend. Nothing to do with me, but Wisconsin Wisconsin had a history of good government, clean government, and effective government. Now these guys have just, taken us in the wrong direction. We need to change that.
Well, and it's difficult, especially when you see the kind of revenue that Illinois and Michigan are generating.
They're getting our revenue. When I first got elected, the issue was the lottery. And when I was campaigning for the first time, people would talk about, we'd all kind of, in the neighborhood, we'd alternate going down to Illinois to buy the lottery tickets. And there's about 8 or 10 of us that put in money each time and get lottery tickets. So we were taking our money and giving it to Illinois for lottery tickets. Now we're taking our money and giving it to Illinois for cannabis and that. The Republican legislators seem fine with that.
Finally, if you're just a Wisconsin resident, what are some of the things that you can do to try and help push the agenda?
Well, I think there are some, organizations and groups that you can get involved with, online or whatever, to just continue to build support. There are tremendous benefits. We're going to have probably one of the top researchers from the Medical College of Wisconsin here. She's published 216 articles. Cecilia Hillard, and they're going to get some top-rate information here. And so I think you just need to begin to, just keep organizing among your friends, whatever, to just build support. And do some letter writing and do some phone calls. It doesn't hurt to legislators. But do it in your district. If you're calling outside your district, it's a waste of time.